Welcome to Marine Tech Talk, a podcast about how Teledyne Marine's innovative technologies are enabling scientific discoveries and commercial tasks in the world's oceans and waterways. In this summer series of podcasts, we introduce the winners of our Teledyne Marine Academic Grant for 2020. This grant offers universities and institutions the opportunity to utilize several of our flagship products free of charge for up to a 6-month period to support their research programs. In this episode, we meet Samer Ahmed Mohamed, a teaching assistant at Ain Shams University in Cairo and head of the Autonomous Underwater Vehicle Project. Using their awarded Pathfinder DVL from Teledyne RD Instruments, Samer and his team will fuse the DVL technology with other stereo vision systems and the dynamic model of the vehicle itself to create a computationally efficient model for AUV navigation. He and his team will participate virtually this year in RoboSub 2020. Now let's meet Samer Ahmed Mohamed with the host of Marine Tech Talk, Melissa Rossi.
Samer, you're currently a teaching assistant and AUV research team head at Ain Shams University in Cairo. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and the AUV research team that you lead at the university?
All right. Basically, our research team was founded in 2019. We are a group of students that were previously working on ROV projects. Then we thought about extending our scope of research to autonomous underwater vehicles. I was the founder of this team along with a couple of co-founders. We as a group, we are called AS Marine Team. We are also participants in RoboSub competition. We are focused on academic and industrial applications of AUVs. You know, we're currently working on the design of a navigational system for an autonomous underwater vehicle that's pretty novel, and that's hopefully going to introduce better results when it comes to AUV control and navigation.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great. You and your team were recently winners of our Teledyne Marine Academic Grant. How did you learn about the Teledyne Marine Academic Grant and what were you actually awarded?
Actually, I've been reviewing Teledyne's products for quite a while. I was actually hoping to purchase a DVL last year, but I think we were not able to afford it. I really can't remember where I saw the academic grant announcement. I think it was on the website. It was a pretty good chance to get the DVL that we always wanted because it's going to improve our research results drastically. So I applied for the grant. I honestly didn't expect that we win, but it did happen.
Yes, and congratulations.
Yeah,
you were
thank
actually in a pretty big field of applicants. I think there were roughly 50 or so applicants for, I think, 5 or 6 awards. So congratulations. That was great.
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome.
So the abstract you submitted for the grant was focused on developing an intelligent low-cost navigational system for an underwater vehicle. What's the goal of your project with the AUV research team? Can you explain some of the experiments you're planning to do with the DVL?
Yeah, I can elaborate on that. As you said, we're basically working on the design of a navigational system that's kind of low cost. At the same time, it's kind of computationally efficient as well. Our project focuses on fusing the DVL technology as a velocity sensor, using its bottom tracking mode, and fuse it with other stereo vision systems, IMUs, also the dynamic model of the vehicle itself, because the dynamic model can give a pretty good insight on how the vehicle will behave. All of that all together would construct a mapping module that's going to be implemented in our AUV. The DVL will also provide a very nice feedback for velocity for our control system that's basically focused on velocity trajectory control. That's going to offer smooth AUV trajectories. We I think we even managed in the simulations to make the EUV move around in a circle and move in a sine wave trajectory. So that was pretty good, and the results were very accurate and promising. We're planning to further investigate the performance in real life by deploying the DVL inside our vehicle along with the other sensors and obtain the actual results. That's pretty much.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
So the module that you're talking about, I think I read in the information that you sent me prior to today's meeting, is that SLAM module. Is that a computational module? Because it seems to take, I think it said you were taking data from the Pathfinder DVL and fusing it with some other sensory data in order to estimate the vehicle's position. Is that what it's doing? I know it.
Yeah,
okay. Because on land, that's way easier to do, obviously. But underwater, that's really hard. How's your system going to compensate for motion and drift underwater?
That was actually taken into account in the simulations. We added the system noise. We also added all the coefficients of drag, lift, and added mass, all the hydrodynamic and static parameters. So the simulation is going to be very close to reality. The DVL would also help us obtain better feedback signals that is going to further refine our trajectories. No, I think the simulation is pretty close to reality, actually. We've been working on similar projects before, and we managed to make the simulation a very viable tool for product validation, and it basically validated our ideas regarding the software architecture that we're trying to build here. We are actually in the development phase now. We almost finished all the software notes that is going to be uploaded to the computer of the vehicle. But due to the recent COVID-19 incidents, I think we're kind of, we face some delays, but we're on our way to actually prove the theory and extract real results when it comes to that matter.
Oh, that's great. So I know the intention was originally to compete in RoboSub 2020 this year, which unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, the in-person part of that competition's been canceled. But there is an online component. Are you still planning to participate or compete in that?
Yeah, we're still participants in RoboSub 2020 in the online submissions. Yeah, we're planning actually to remain as participants. Actually, we are also planning to full fund our 2021 participation as well. Yeah, we're still on track when it comes to the competition.
What's the deadline to submit your results for that competition? I couldn't quite get that from the website.
The 9th of August, as far as I could remember. Yeah, the 9th of August. There are also some submissions that are related to the team itself, like the team member names and the advisor's biography, stuff like that. That's going to be mid-June, I think. Yeah, these are all the deadlines as far as I can remember now.
What do you actually have to submit for that online competition to represent your work? Because now they're going to take your submission, obviously, along with everyone else's, and determine a winner of the competition, whereas previously they would actually see you put a vehicle in the water and you would run the tasks that you were supposed to run. What are you actually submitting for the competition, and do you have an idea how they're going to judge that?
The submissions include some managerial aspects of the team, like the team website and its utility. Also a team video, like introducing our team members and stuff. There's a new element that's going to be embedded in this year's video, which is the technical presentation of the project, since we are not going to be available on site to explain how we developed our vehicle. So that's going to be implemented in the video or embedded in the video as well. Also, there is a static submission, which is the technical design report, in which we are going to introduce all of our ideas and stages of product development, as well as our newly founded algorithms. And that's pretty much it. These are all the submissions. So I think the judges would focus on the innovation in AUV design. It's not going to be just depending or relying on open source codes and stuff like that. I think they'll be more into new ideas and new innovations. I think they'll be impressed with even research submissions, like IEEE papers and stuff like that. I think when you reference that in your technical submission, I think that would be a very strong point. So I think they'll be more focused on the design of the vehicle itself.
How are things actually going in Cairo in regard to COVID at the moment? Are you able to move around yet? Are things beginning to open again, or are things still fairly shut?
Yeah, you're kind of free to move, but all the academic institutions are in a state of lockdown, so we can't access our labs. Most of the work we do is at home or small gatherings. If we're trying to work on vehicle hardware, for example, we're taking very strict precautions. Whether we are working in small gatherings like wearing masks and stuff like that. It's there are a lot of restrictions, especially that we don't quite have an access to a pool. We're using a very small size pool right now for testing. We're kind of restricted, but we're trying to overcome the difficulties that come with a lockdown. And yeah.
How many people are on the team?
We have around 30 members. The most active members are 7 up to 10, for example. Because, we all don't have the same flexibility when it comes to dealing with the pandemic. So we're giving excuses to people who are not, ready to move around very freely. So we're having a shortage in manpower, kind of. But we're also working on that currently, trying to offer, chances to work from home. For example, our software members, they most of the time stick at home. Our mechanical members and electrical members, we're trying to, create some working schedules so that we can limit the chances of meeting a lot of people at the same time. So we're not working all week. We are just trying to limit the gatherings and stuff like that. So
yeah, sure. And with limited equipment, if you're not able to access your lab as well, I would imagine. Are there any other challenges you're anticipating before you finish this competition this year?
I think not. We're almost finished with the design process, and we're currently testing our modules. For example, the STEM module is tested using the sensors in a test rig. The thrusters are also tested as modules. So these modular tests allow us to have some flexibility when it comes to testing, and it doesn't require a lot of space and it doesn't require a very big pool to verify the results. So I think we're having a pretty good chance at producing a fully integrated product even before the deadline for the submission comes. So I think we're on track when it comes to that.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. You mentioned earlier that you are, as part of the competition, you're putting together a website. Is that website up and running yet?
Well, it's still under development. It's almost finished, but it's going to be launched, I think, by the end of this week. We're working on we finished the basic aspects of the website. We're working on some cool stuff like dynamic logos and stuff like that. So I think the basic requirements for the website are finished, but we're working on some special effects in the website that I think viewers will find very cool to see.
Oh, that's great. Well, best of luck to you, and thank you for taking time today to join me on the podcast, and we wish you the very, very best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the Marine Tech Talk podcast. To learn more about the work that Samer and his team at ASU are doing, you can visit Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and look for AS Marine 20. If you have any comments or questions about the show, you can email host Melissa Rossi at marinetechtalk@teledyne.com. If you like this podcast, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're hearing this show. That way, you'll never miss an episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.